Have you ever been told to follow your passion? To take that one thing you do for pure, unadulterated joy and turn it into a business? It's the modern-day fairy tale, right? Your love for baking artisanal sourdough becomes a beloved local bakery. Your knack for knitting quirky cat hats becomes an Etsy empire. You'll never work a day in your life. But what if that's a lie? What if that advice, whispered by every life coach and motivational guru, is actually the fastest way to murder the one thing you love? I have a feeling we're not alone in suspecting this. So, let's start here. Tell me in the comments, what is a hobby you have that you would absolutely hate to turn into a job? Let's create a sanctuary for our passions right down below. Today, we're not just questioning that feel-good advice, we're putting it on trial. And by the end, I promise you'll have a much smarter and safer way to think about your passions and your paycheck. The crime. How passion becomes a prison. Let's identify the conventional wisdom, the story we've all been sold. It goes like this. If you're good at something, you should monetize it. Turn your passion into your profession. It sounds so logical, so efficient. But here's the inversion, the secret they don't tell you. When your passion starts paying your bills, it stops being your passion and starts being your boss. And it's the worst boss you'll ever have. It's demanding, it wakes you up at 3 a.m. with anxiety, and it's a master of guilt trips. Think of it like this. Your hobby is your favorite song. You play it when you want to feel good, to escape, to be yourself. Now imagine turning that song into your mandatory 24/7 alarm clock. A song that shrieks at you to wake up and make the donuts. How long before you despise every single note of it? That's what we're talking about. We're investigating the murder of joy, and we have 3 key suspects. Suspect 1, the customer who stole your creativity. When you practice your hobby, who are you trying to please? Yourself. That's it. You paint the weird abstract thing because you like it. You write the story with the bizarre ending because it fascinates you. The audience is you. The moment it becomes a business, you get a new audience, a paying audience. And the customer, as they say, is always right, even when they're wrong. Suddenly, your creative instincts are put in a straitjacket by market demand. The macrame plant hangers you made for fun? Now customers want them in millennial pink, a color you despise. The deeply personal essays you wrote? An editor tells you they need to be more SEO-friendly and less you. The freedom that defined your hobby is the first casualty. You are no longer an artist. You are a service provider. Your craft, which was once a form of self-expression, becomes a product engineered to meet someone else's expectations. You've essentially handed the steering wheel of your creative escape over to strangers, and they will, inevitably, drive it straight into a wall of beige conformity. Suspect 2, the tyranny of the schedule. Let's be honest about why we love our hobbies. They are an escape from obligation. They are what we do when we have no schedule. Inspiration for that woodworking project strikes on a lazy Sunday afternoon. You feel the urge to play the guitar after a stressful Tuesday at the office. It's spontaneous. It's free. A business is the opposite. A business is a fortress built of obligations, deadlines, and relentless consistency. You don't bake when you feel inspired. You bake at 4 a.m. because you have an order for 3 dozen cupcakes due by 9. You don't take a photograph when the light is perfect. You do a photo shoot on a gloomy Wednesday because the client booked that day. The want to is brutally replaced by the have to. This is a profound psychological shift. The activity that once refilled your energy now drains it. The sanctuary becomes a factory, and the spontaneous joy is crushed under the dead weight of a Google Calendar invitation. Before you know it, you're procrastinating on the very thing you used to procrastinate with. Suspect 3. The efficiency monster. Here's a cold, hard truth. Hobbies are allowed to be beautifully inefficient. You can spend 20 hours meticulously carving one perfect wooden spoon because the process is the point. The joy is in the details, the imperfections, the learning. Businesses to survive must worship at the altar of efficiency and scalability. That 20-hour spoon? It's not profitable. To make it a business, you have to find a way to make it in 2 hours. You have to standardize the design, cut corners, and outsource the sanding. The quirky, time-consuming details that you loved, the very soul of your craft, are the first things to be axed from the budget. The efficiency monster devours the soul of your hobby, leaving behind a hollowed-out, optimized-for-profit shell. The thing that made your work special is now a bottleneck in your production line. So why? Why is this advice so popular if it's so destructive? This is where we get to the deeper truth, the satisfying reveal. It's because we've fundamentally misunderstood the purpose of a hobby. The reveal. A hobby isn't a failed business. It's a successful escape. We've been tricked into believing that anything that doesn't generate income is a waste of time. And in that worldview, a hobby is just a business that hasn't started yet. But that is a profound, soul-crushing lie. The value of a hobby is precisely that it doesn't have to make money. Its purpose is not to be productive in the economic sense. Its purpose is to be restorative in the human sense. It's an act of rebellion against a world that demands every minute of our lives be optimized for output. So, here's the nuanced, deeper truth. Instead of turning your hobby into your job, use your job to build a fortress around your hobby. Let your 9-to-5, even if it's boring, be the engine that funds your freedom. Let that steady paycheck be the bodyguard that protects your passion from the pressures of the marketplace. This allows your hobby to remain pure. It can be weird, inefficient, and for an audience of one. It can be the place you go to remember who you are when the world isn't watching. The ultimate goal isn't to escape work by monetizing your play. The smarter goal is to work so that you can protect the sacred space of your play. So, should you turn your hobby into a business? The question isn't about your talent or your passion. The real question is, are you willing to risk the one thing you do for love on the brutal demands of the market? Because the most successful hobby isn't the one that makes you a millionaire. The most successful hobby is the one that keeps you sane. It's the one thing that remains yours and yours alone. A perfect, pressure-free escape. Protect it. If this perspective respected your intelligence and gave you a new way to think, do me a favor and hit the like button. And if you want more ideas that challenge conventional wisdom and break the rules of self-help, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We do this all the time. Now for the discussion. Leave a comment below sharing which of the three suspects, the customer, the schedule, or the efficiency monster, you fear the most. And finally, suggest a common quote or piece of advice you want to see me put on trial in a future video. Thank you for thinking with me today. Now go enjoy your wonderfully unprofitable, gloriously inefficient, and absolutely essential hobbies. You've earned it.